guys.
Let's go.
Cool. So today we would like to share and give you our take on 6 myths that we believe are myths about starting a business and about entrepreneurship. And if there's any goal that we have today, it would be to inspire anybody or try to inspire anybody who's currently thinking about starting a business or about starting any kind of new project for themselves.
So never partner with your partner. I mean, most likely the most frequently asked question that we get is, how is it possible that, being a couple in private, in case you haven't known, that we're also able to be successful business partners? And for us, I think it's very much not about who, you're dating, but more so over, who you choose to be your business partner. And there's very crucial factors that determine whether someone is going to be a good business partner or not. And for us, there's 3 basic principles that we believe are the core of finding that great person to build your own company with. Number 1, you have to start on eye level, meaning especially the 2 of us being very opinionated people, I think it's important that we started from 0 and really were able to build this business together from the ground up. Secondly, you have to have the same vision. I mean, obviously, if you have 2 people and they, have very different visions as to where a business should go, it's not going to work out because you won't be able to walk into the same direction. This does, however, not mean that, along the way, kind of reaching your goal, there's not going to be arguments or, misunderstandings, or maybe even, the one or other challenge that you might be facing and questioning whether that goal is the actual goal. But if you have one vision that you're walking towards, you'll be fine. And that's, I think, the 3 core principles that will make a good business partner a great business partner. Whether this is someone who, your life partner with, whether it's someone who is your family member, or someone you might not even know before you start this company.
The idea is everything. I remember it pretty exactly, actually. We graduated both 5 years ago in the city. And back then, I had this hunger. I wanted to start something. I wanted to start some powerful company and be meaningful. And I saw all these great companies on the planet, and I always thought, how do these people get to these ideas? And why don't I, or when will I have such an idea, or how can I start? And back then, that was a big challenge, and that's probably what kept me up. I had this hunger. I wanted to do something, but I didn't know how to approach it. And at some point, I just said, maybe we just got to get going. We just got to start and do it. And effectively, we started a fashion label after graduating. And to be honest, nobody's waiting around for the next fashion label. It's a small startup and a young design startup. But we did it, and we started it. And about 1 year into producing and designing this beachwear for women that we sold, we saw that traditional advertising had substantial shortcomings that we saw, and we found a strong value in influencer marketing. So starting one thing, which wasn't the idea to reinvent the wheel, led to another thing, us seeing a new opportunity. And that's what we then pursued, and we said, okay, let's do this. This seems like it will add a lot of value to a lot of people. So that's how we got there, and that's how we got to the point and to the company effectively that we started today. And even that idea that we had back then, thinking about influencer marketing, even that evolved. And when you look at most businesses evolve and you move from time to time, and you always see new opportunities, new challenges, you want to adapt and you move and so on. So it's not about waiting for that key idea. We believe it's more about getting started.
So this is a tricky one. As Chris just mentioned, so when we started Pulse, influencer marketing was not a thing, and there was no such thing as an influencer marketing agency. So we thought we had this very, very, powerful idea, and obviously we did not want to share that out of, the fear that someone could come along and steal the idea. So we didn't share it with friends. We didn't share it with family. We literally did not share it with anyone unless we had to. And looking back at it today, I mean, there's so much value in sharing, the ideas that you have, just for someone to question that as well and to challenge you on those ideas. That is always going to overpower keeping the secret to yourself. When you have a strong passion for something and you have that eagerness to put that, idea into practice, nothing is ever going to stop you, and no one's ever going to be able to come along and just take that idea and make it better than you could. Hence, always use the opportunity that you have, and every single opportunity you have, to tell your idea to people, to have them challenge you on that idea, and to really, use the power that comes out of that to really, effectively make the idea greater. That is always going to be more powerful than the teeny little risk of having someone come and steal the idea. And if they do manage to steal the idea and they end up doing it better than you have, then use that as an opportunity as well, and maybe it just wasn't for you.
You need money. I think whenever you read about startups, the first thing you do is, what is the perfect pitch for an investor? How do you get somebody to fund your business? Venture capital, all these cool investment firms and so on. And to be frank, that's what we thought. When we started out and the first couple of months now with this advertising group had gone very well, we thought, okay, logically, we hadn't built a business that grew very far, so probably we should get somebody on board, an investor who could advise us, who could stand by our side and who has more experience. And so we started talking to investors, and effectively we found out a couple of things. First, it was our business initially, but if we had taken somebody on board to invest in our business, this wouldn't have been our business as much anymore. And we always would have had somebody who had a strong opinion, probably like us, who we would have to report to and justify which decisions we're making and why. And obviously, it's not a charitable donation that these people do. They want to make money out of it. So it makes you less independent, and they will have a great business deal out of it, cutting your deal out of the fraction a little bit. So effectively, we said, do we actually need an investor right now? And effectively decided against it. And to this point, we are, the only company in our space that has no investors on board. And that has kept us so competitive that I believe this is how we got, and remained and became the market leader in this area. And every founder you meet after time, when they're honest, and you ask them, all these cool investors, obviously it's sometimes great PR value and so on, and they do help and they do have experience sometimes. But most founders will tell you it would have been better if they didn't have anybody on board. So if you can avoid it, do so as far as you can. Obviously, there are businesses where you need money, but I would say get going and don't just wait, for somebody to approve your pitch. If you believe in something, you do it and you get going.
Know it all. So before we even considered having a business, I always looked at entrepreneurs as being these people that, literally knew it all. They were experts in finance and HR and strategy. They knew everything to do with legal setups. They knew how to, just build a company. And looking back at it today as well, I see that you do not need to know it all. There's a lot of power in knowing what you're not able to do, or where your strengths lie, where your passion is, what things are that you truly, where your heart beats for, that you feel you have passion, and that you're actually really, really good at. And then it takes a lot of, self-reflection as well to then find the right people to help you, fill the voids that you're not able to fill yourself. Hence, a team and finding an amazing team of people that complement your own skills is one of the most valuable things you have out there. But in order to find a team that really truly can take you forward, which we are very lucky to have found, I believe, and continuing to grow that as well, it takes a lot of self-reflection as well. You have to be very critical with yourself, finding out, what are the things that you are able to do, what are things that maybe, you're not so great at. And then secondly, it's really important to continue to want to learn. If you don't know how to do something, ask questions. Ask as many questions as you need until you finally know what to do. Just continue to learn. The entire life that we have is a learning process. So don't stop to learn just because you don't know something today. Sit down, ask questions, find the right people to teach you things. So that in the end, you'll come out knowing more than you did before.
Have a plan B. Honestly, everybody, parents, anybody advising always will tell you, hey, make a plan B. What if your business doesn't go the way it should? And our first business didn't go that far, so they probably, we thought back then, maybe should we think about this? But honestly, it's great to have this exchange with any kind of founder, any kind of interesting people, visionary people, and this exchange that we spoke about to learn and develop your idea. But at the same time, if you found a business, you get out in this arena of other people running their business, and if you want to win, somebody has to lose. So it's a competitive world. It's not like it's nice and everybody's nice to each other. You gotta get into it. You gotta risk something, and you gotta beat the market, and you just gotta get to the front. And so we believe, don't invest time into planning a plan B. Make sure plan A works, and make sure and just put in your all. And I believe this sort of sums up our key points that over time, over the 5 years now, were our key learnings in the process. And if you have anything that you are about to start, go rock it, do your thing. If you believe in it and you feel like it's in your heart, go do it. Thank you.